Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, today is National Police Women Day. So, if you know a female officer who's in the police, or even a female security guard, or perhaps some other kind of law enforcement female serving officer, this is the day to go and tell them you love them. Be careful how you do that because you might get yourself arrested if you say that in the wrong way. But it is the day to celebrate all things female in the police force. Of course, women over the years have never really been seen as equals by their male counterparts, which is a great shame. Here in the UK, there's always been reports of misogyny and comments about female serving police officers. It's not as bad as it used to be. I think the stereotype of a female police officer was one who was quite butch and strong, and they weren't really taken seriously. But that's all changed now, and I think they, at least in principle anyway, are supposed to have equal rights, but I guess you'd have to be quite strong to be a female police officer anyway. So to celebrate this day, I thought I would share with you my favorite police dramas where the prominent role is female. So the first one I'm going to choose is a 1970s TV show called Policewoman with Angie Dickinson. Now, it really was quite, I wouldn't say it was misogynistic, but it's clear that Angie Dickinson was only in the role because some people thought she was beautiful. And she herself said that she just was so tired of every episode. She was lying in the bath and the phone rang and she had to get up and answer it. And of course, this was a way of showing sensuality in the movies in those days. But it was a lovely show. I mean, they had her dressed up as flight attendants, workers in the sex industry, office workers, because she went undercover to find the criminals. I mean, she was a woman, of course, so quite often she had to date the criminals before they would confess to her the crime or before she would be able to catch them. So, a very interesting TV show. It was a little bit controversial at one point because it featured in one of its episodes called Flowers of Evil. It featured a strong LGBT storyline, which did not go down well with some people. So that was a bit controversial and was eventually banned. But Policewoman was fabulous. I loved Policewoman, Angie Dickinson. So that's my fast one that I can recommend for you if you're looking for something nice to watch. It is very stereotypical. I mean, the role of a woman was there, you know, she was either lying in the bath or she was cooking or she was dating men, of course, because that's what women did in those days. So yeah, if you want something different from the 1970s, I can recommend Policewoman with Angie Dickinson. She's actually quite an interesting character because she married, what was his name? That songwriter, Burt Bacharach, was it? Burt Burt Bacharach, that was him. Yeah, he's that singer that died recently. Yeah, I think he was married to Angie Dickinson for a while. I mean, he was married to everyone, but Angie Dickinson was one of his wives. Yeah, I mean, she did look very beautiful, you know, with that protruding lip that they had in the 60s and 70s with the perfect hairstyle. Uh, a very nice TV show. And the second one on my list is Cagney and Lacey. You must remember that one. It featured the blonde woman, Sharon Gless, although Loretta Swit was in the pilot. You know Loretta Swit from MASH. She was Hot Lips Houlihan in MASH. She got the role for the pilot episode, but Sharon Gless eventually portrayed um, uh, the character for the rest of the TV series. So it featured two women, Cagney and Lacey. One was a married woman who was trying to raise kids, and the other, I think she was single, the blonde-haired one, and it's about their lives and how they work together. And of course, the media used to make fun of them because one of them was kind of overweight and loud, and she used to kind of break into apartment blocks and shout "Freeze" while she was eating a hamburger. And the other one was more kind of sensual and beautiful. I loved Cagney and Lacey. So if you're looking for a detective drama, well, they weren't really detectives; they were actually police officers. Then Cagney and Lacey is for you. And just talking about it reminds me about them, so maybe I'll try and find that to watch on TV. I love Cagney and Lacey. They were very good. So I'd recommend that TV show as well if you're looking for a police drama with a strong female lead. And of course, who can forget Charlie's Angels? That must have been one of the first police dramas in the 1970s. Cagney and Lacey, by the way, were from the 80s. Yeah, the next one, Charlie's Angels, it's incredibly misogynistic. Weren't they all living together in an apartment? And they never got to meet Charlie, but he used to talk to them and he used to refer to them as his angels. Yeah, and when he gets kidnapped or anything happens to him, they all panic. Oh, Charlie, So yeah, I think they were very, very good. A little bit dated, and of course, they were only employed because of their beauty and the fact that they could be controlled by a man. So yeah, was a little bit strange. Um, the other one, which a lot of people don't remember, is Columbo's Wife. Now, Columbo's Wife was a police drama, and it was kind of doomed from the start because nobody actually wanted to make that TV show. Everyone thought, well, Columbo was so successful, so why make a TV show about his wife? The TV show was actually called Mrs. Columbo, and because everyone was so dead set against it, it didn't actually last very long. I think in the early episodes, it was actually called Mrs. Columbo, okay, and there were references to the husband. You all know Lieutenant Columbo, he was a very famous detective. And then later, as it progressed, they tried to kind of move away from the fact that she was related to him. They wanted it to be kind of standalone, probably hoping that it would survive because everybody was really against this idea. And so later, it was simply called Kate Columbo, Kate the Detective, and then Kate Loves a Mystery. Yeah, but like I say, nobody actually wanted that to happen. So Mrs. Columbo, or Kate Columbo, was actually played by that lady who is in Star Trek, Kate Mulgrew. Yeah, Kate Mulgrew is a famous American actress. So yeah, she played the wife of Columbo, and in this TV series, she's not actually a detective. She's a news reporter, but she's solving crimes while raising a daughter. So, yeah, It didn't last very long, unfortunately, because they had all kinds of chronological problems with it as well. Because the daughter, by the time this program was made, was supposedly 8 years old. And with the age of Kate and the age of Columbo, it all just didn't work out. So they had to kind of work together to remake it. And I think that's why there was a lot of confusion about it and why they had to really move it away from the original series Columbo. So yeah, very interesting, very interesting. But it didn't last long anyway. But it is out on DVD, I'm pleased to say. So if you're interested in that, it's kind of hard to find, but I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. And of course, my last recommendation, if you're looking for a British police drama, has to be The Gentle Touch. It's called The Gentle Touch, of course, because it was assumed that women were softer and more gentle than men. So it's all about Detective Maggie Forbes. She's working for the police, I think somewhere in London. And while she's working, she comes across the criminals, of course, and she does all the things that the men do. But it highlights the problems of women working in the police. It's very good. It's very good. It's still around somewhere. I mean, it finished in the 1980s. The woman who played Maggie Forbes, her name was Jo Gascoigne, she immigrated to America and she was writing raunchy novels out there before her death, which I think happened last year. And she's fondly remembered by people of a certain generation here. And of course, I know I said that there was only one more, The Gentle Touch, but there is another one comes to mind. We had a crime drama here, not really a crime drama exactly, but about the life of a women's prison in the 1970s and how it was run and the problems that the governess faced as a woman. It was called Within These Walls. It was a very kind of like trashy drama involving, well, not really the police, I suppose, but it still was very, very good about the life inside the women's prison. The one called Within These Walls. I think you can find that on YouTube. And the actress there was Googie Withers. Googie Withers was a real old classical actress. Yeah, she was very good, Googie Withers. I really liked her. A very old and regal and very well-trained actress. Yeah, Googie Withers. So anyway, that's a few for you to check out if you're interested in police dramas. The list is endless. I could go on and on and on, but that's it from me for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this. And remember, find the policewoman, but don't hug her. Just say hi or thank you. Okay, that's it from me. See you. Bye.